Hello everybody, this is Terry Fisher with Transform. Today we're going to talk about the cheat meal. As I said in the last video, the cheat meal, I don't have to explain what a cheat meal is. What I'm going to explain to you is why the cheat meal is the most important meal of the week and how to do the cheat meal. There's a couple of rules that I have in my program when it comes to cheat meals and how you do them, and what I recommend is what I do. Number one, the cheat meal is the cheat meal. So it's means it's one meal a week. It's not a cheat day, it's not a cheat weekend, it's not a cheat environment. It's once a week. Now, there is an exception to the once a week rule, because I don't want to be contradicted. It can happen. Professional women trainers, typically professionals, we're talking professional bodybuilders, will have 2 cheat meals a week. For guys, 1. Sorry guys, remember that calorie count thing where they didn't get to eat the food? This is where they get to make up for it. A heavy trainer, professional, will have 2. For you, for now, until we get you professional, it's once a week. Here's why the cheat meal is the most important meal of the week. And for this one, instead of the males, I'm going to talk about the females, because females have a tendency to adapt easier than men do. So what we're going to have is the daily calorie count for women is 1,800. Plus or minus their cardio. So we were giving them 200 on average. So we're about 2,000 calories a day was the number we were working with women. And then we said, in order to lose on the program, we want to take out 1,000 calories a day. That 1,000 calories a day has to come off either by food or by cardio. We're only working with a 2,000 count. So what'll end up happening is a lot of times there's not a lot of cardio, it's being cut in diet, and a lot of women will cut 800 in food and go 200 on cardio. So they're going to cut their food down to that minimum 1,200 calories. What happens is, when they cut down to that 1,200 calories, as they're building up their cardio, because this is in the beginning stages, and this goes for all levels. So they're working at a 1,200 calorie count a day. That's what their daily intake is. The human body is an incredible thing. It can adapt and it can do things that people just are amazed with. Certainly trainers. Some of it they don't like. Remember, the daily count for her was 2,000 calories, based on the 1,800 and the 200 for activity, and you've been consistently putting 1,200 calories into your system, and you're losing weight as you go along. Problem is if you continue to put 1,200 calories into your body on a consistent basis over a long period of time, your body will adapt and change this number to this number and learn how to live on 1,200 calories, and you'll stop losing weight. That's what the body will do on its own. What the cheat meal does is it resets your system. when you put the cheat meal in, prevent your body from adapting. You don't want your body to learn how to survive on 1,200 calories. You want your body to continue to stay at the 2,000 calories. Otherwise, you won't lose any weight. So what you're doing with the cheat meal, and this is why it's the most important meal of the week, is it resets your system. If you don't reset your system, you'll stop losing weight. That's why the cheat meal is the most important meal of the week. Because if you allow that system to adapt, you're not going to be a happy person when it comes to checking your structure later on. So, we're going to do the cheat meal. We're going to do it once a week. Like I said, for women, their bodies seem to adapt sooner than men. That's why professionals have 2 a week, because their bodies start to adapt faster than ours. That's when they get. In the beginning stages, ladies, you're just like the guys. Stay to 1 meal a week. I have a couple of rules for the cheat meal. Number 1, it's a cheat meal, not a cheat day. I prefer that you go out. Don't eat your cheat meal at home. Go to a restaurant, treat yourself. You've had a good week. If you've done everything right, you've lost 2 pounds, you deserve a night out. Go have yourself a burger or whatever you want to have. Stay away from fast food. If you were on a diet, like on processed foods, and you've done what you were explained to when we got rid of the processed foods, and you've done what Terry's doing, and you're putting whole foods into your system, and you've been doing this for a while, and you go and you eat fast food that has all the chemicals and all those preservatives and everything into it, you're going to feel sick. So go out, make it a night out. That's what me and Donna do. We usually take off and we go to a restaurant. We'll have nachos or whatever we're going to dive ourselves into. We try to keep it a little clean, but it is a cheat meal. Anything goes. Have whatever you want. It's one sitting. It's not going to destroy your week. You're not going to get 10,000 calories in a meal. You might get 2,000 calories tops. You're probably going to come in around 1,000, 1,500. And you may not, even though you have the cheat meal, sometimes you won't feel good after it, but you have to do it anyway. Get that out of the way. Number 2, if you're going to do it at home, Number 2, if you're going to do it at home, what I want you to do is you go out, pick up the stuff only for that meal. On that day. If you're going to have your cheat meal at home, you go to the grocery store, you go to wherever you're going to go. I don't care if it's the ice cream store. You're going to get what you need for that meal. You're going to make it, you're going to finish it, and you're not going to keep this stuff in the house. Do not keep cheat meal supplies in the house, because you will go from 1 cheat meal to 7 cheat meals a week. And then you're not going to lose any weight, and that's going to destroy your program. This is the other rule. We stick to not having the stuff. It's like me getting an email from you saying, Terry, I messed up my program. I'm sitting here eating a bag of oatmeal cookies. I'm going, really? How did you destroy yourself with a bag of oatmeal cookies? And when did you buy the oatmeal cookies? If you bought them last week, you didn't destroy your program that day. You destroyed it when you bought the oatmeal cookies and brought them into the house. Everything traces back. This is the thing about the program. This is why we log everything, so we can look back and see what we did wrong. This is the mistake. Don't have anything in the house that shouldn't be there. You won't be tempted to eat it. So that's the cheat meal, and that's the cheat meal and how it works. Like I said, it's the most vital meal of the week. If you don't take that cheat meal, Your system will adjust to what you've been cutting. You do not want your system to do that under any circumstances. So it's very important. A lot of people don't like the cheat meal. They think they're destroying their diet. They think they're going to continue. It's not. You'll get used to it. You'll do it. It's part of the program. This is Terry once again. Enjoy those cheat meals and keep it once a week. Talk to you later. See you in the next video.